get discouraged when it's hard. Because I was saying this earlier, like, it's a simple illustration, but it's like the idea of toothpaste, right? Like, nothing's coming out of the tube without pressure. There's greatness within you, but there's pressure that's got to push that greatness out. You know what I mean?
I like that. Yeah.
And so the pressure is trying to figure out, how do I not let this stop with me? How do I let it spread through me? That's the pressure that pulls that greatness out, right? Because I can never truly be who I'm destined to be if I don't have to work for it, if I don't have to grind for it, if I don't have to figure it out, if I don't have to make a way when there is no way. You know, like all those little ideas and tropes that we say a lot of times, I think sometimes they sound good as quotes, but they're harder to live. And so I love talking with people who are living it. So like you said, you go from that concert that night, there's no one around you that does music, you're writing. When do you go from lyrics on a page to being in a booth and actually recording? What's that process like? Going from that night to the writing, then to the actual song creation process. What's that look like for you?
Right. So my older brother, he actually did music. He actually used to make music when he was younger. And so he kind of still had his own little studio, but everything was kind of broken and everything was kind of lost because it was like a long time ago. And so all we had was this little $2 microphone with, I don't know if you know the game on the Wii. It's called like Just Sing. So we literally took that microphone from the Wii game, Just Sing, plugged it into the into the computer. And the thing I admire about my brother is that, he can make something out of nothing. And that's pretty much what it was. We literally took that microphone and made my first song, made my first record. And then, yeah, bro, it was fun, man. Like when you record for the first time, it doesn't sound like yourself, you start to double think, but like as time went on, I ended up becoming really confident in it and stuff like that, and then released it on SoundCloud to the world. And then
with that $2 microphone, you released that song to the world?
Yeah, bro, because I was just like, I just wanted to do it. I was just excited, man. Like, shoot, like listening to that song now, I'm like, wow. Not only like the production was like not there, but like it's everything about it. It just shows growth, And that's what it's all about. Is just growth, People are afraid to start because they're afraid, oh, I'm not perfect, or oh, I'm not like, like Drake. I'm not like, Future. And so, yeah. Excuse me. Woo.
I love that so much. I just want to jump in here for a second. Like,
yeah.
Dude, this is the reason. All right, so we opened up the interview and I messed up your name, right? Even though I asked you right before. The reason I didn't redo that and just say, all right, well, because I could cut it and no one would ever know. I'm going to put that on YouTube. With me messing up your name and your reaction to me messing up your name and all that. And the reason is because I don't want people psyching themselves out. We oftentimes think that everything has to be perfect in order to fulfill our dreams, in order to do the things that we do. We're trying to strive after perfection. We're not perfect. You know what I mean? We're always going to make mistakes, but it's not the mistakes you make. It's not the fact that you trip. It's what you do when you trip. You know what I mean? It's how you bounce back. It's what you learn from it. It's what you do after. It's all of that truly matters. And I think sometimes we're striving after perfection so much that it keeps us from actually ever doing anything about it.
Woo. No, that's real.
So that's the reason why. So when you said that, I was like, oh, that's it. Because in my mind, I was like, I'm not going to re-say his name. I'm not going to attempt it again. I'm just going to let it ride because it's an example that you don't have to have everything perfect all the time. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And it doesn't mean don't be great at what you do and don't take pride in what you do and don't strive to be the best at what you do. It's just realizing that it's not about trying to seek after perfection all the time. You know what I mean? I'm far more worried about the intent behind what I do than all of it. It's kind of like I was talking to someone the other day. I know I just interrupted myself, but I was talking to someone the other day and I was saying it was a debate that we were having. Is it quality or is it quantity? In some things, I think obviously quality matters, right? Like if I'm going to shoot a basketball, you're talking about basketball. If I'm going to shoot a basketball, I want to shoot the right way, right? I don't know how to shoot it. Right. You can tell the way I did this. But anyways, like if I'm going to shoot a basketball or whatever I'm going to do, like I need to make sure that I'm shooting it correct. But if I take 500 shots as opposed to just one perfect shot every week, if I do 500 a day as opposed to one perfect one every day, I'm going to get a lot better at my shot doing 500 a day than one perfect one. And that's kind of my point is like, if you do it the first time and it doesn't sound good, or it's not, you know, like you said, I listen back to it. You know, but at the same time, the more you do it, the more confident you get, the more stability you get, the more, you know, progress you make, the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. And before soon, you're doing things that you never done before. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Consistency, man.
There's so much in that. I love that. So after the first song, I'm just so interested in this story. So after the first song, then what? Like, how's the progression continue?
After this first song, you know, people are just being nice. You know, they're like, "Oh, Alpha, we support you as a person." You know, yeah, that song's fire. You know, just saying that just to be nice and stuff like that, just to boost my self-esteem, I guess. You know, but once I just started diving more into music and just started listening more to like different artists and different ears and different styles and production, I started to see the flaws into that first song, you know? I started to zoom out of the telescope. Sometimes when you're making music, you're like zoomed in the telescope, like you don't really zoom out just to see like, you know, the bigger picture and the bigger intent of the song. So like when you zoom out of the song, you know, you can find ways you can do better. You know, you can find different things you could have added. And so that's what I kind of use. And so that's why my first song, my second song kind of jumped in the production and lyrics and like, you know, the overall song, because I was able to zoom out and just view and really process like how I can be better, how I can make a better song than the song I did